Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, how one nonprofit is helping flood victims throughout the region. And federal workers have a midnight deadline tonight to list 5 things they accomplished last week, or else they're out of a job.
And we had wall-to-wall sunshine for your Monday. How long will the nice weather last? Details in a few minutes.
Dedicated to southern and eastern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 5:30.
Good evening, I'm Steve Hensley. Recovery efforts for flood survivors are well underway throughout the Commonwealth. Christian Appalachian Project's Operation Sharing is delivering essential supplies to hard-hit communities. WYMT's Caroline Mueller visited the distribution center in Knott County.
At the Knott County Sportsplex, a truckload of relief supplies arrives, one of many making its way to flood-affected areas.
Disaster relief supplies that include heaters, generators, some water, some disaster relief buckets, cleaning supplies, brooms, mops, different things. And this is just one spot that we're going to today.
With homes damaged and roads washed out, the need is urgent. But for Aaron Toms, the project manager for CAP's Operation Sharing, this is more than just disaster response. It is about standing by his community.
This is our home, these are our family, these are our friends, these are our loved ones. You know, they were devastated and impacted just a few years ago. This is our community, and we want to show up for them and let them know they're not forgotten, even though we don't make the national news all the time.
Knott County Emergency Management Director James Sandlin says distributing aid is especially challenging this time, with flooding being more widespread.
You know, last time it was 5 counties. This time it's 72 counties, and the hard part is just everybody getting supplies and trying to get them when you need them.
Even in the face of disaster, Sandlin says Appalachian communities continue to look out for each other.
It's amazing to see the resilience of people. You know, the people that need supplies the worst don't want it. They want it to go to somebody else. And
while the immediate focus is getting supplies to those in need, long-term recovery is just beginning.
We serve all of the Appalachian region, and this is real close to our heart, and so we're going to be here long after the TV cameras are gone.
Distributions will continue for as long as needed. In Knott County, Caroline Mueller, WYMT Mountain News.
Sandlin says before Friday they were unable to get any supplies except for water. Now they are stocked up with cleaning supplies and other items, but he says those supplies are pretty much going out as quickly as they are coming in. Estill County Animal Shelter got the help they needed today. The shelter shared in a post the recent flooding and freezing temperatures brought in an influx of animals. They thank the Kentucky Humane Society for taking some dogs off their hands. Those dogs will now get the medical care and training they need to one day be put up for adoption. One person is dead and another injured after a house fire in Boyd County. It happened at a home in the Cannonsburg area. We do not know many details yet, but we are told the person injured was flown to a hospital. Several fire departments were at the scene. Attorney General Russell Coleman is calling on U.S. lawmakers to pass a bill that would reclassify fentanyl as a more dangerous drug. Coleman has joined a coalition of 25 states supporting the Halt Fentanyl Act. It would permanently include the substance on the DEA most restrictive list of drugs, also known as Schedule 1. Right now, it's only temporarily being classified as one, but that is set to expire on March 31st. A Senate committee considered the act last Thursday.
My goodness, what a beautiful start to the work week. We had temperatures in the upper 50s and low 60s with plenty of sunshine. Matter of fact, some places that hit 60 over towards Louisa made it to 62 degrees. Right now, Louisa's sitting at 59 over towards Whitley City. Whitley City made it to 62, sitting at 59. We have a light west-southwesterly wind around 3 miles per hour. Breathitt County near Jackson made it to 60, checking in right now at 57 degrees. We have a southwesterly wind at 6 miles per hour. Other temperatures across the viewing area in the 60s from Manchester to Harlan over towards London, upper 50s from Jackson to Hazard over towards Prestonsburg. Whitesburg's checking in with 57. Clintwood at 60. Wise is at 52 degrees. All is quiet on live pinpoint Doppler radar. This will get a break for the most part tomorrow as well. It's when we get into Wednesday night going into Thursday that our next chance of rain comes into play. But tonight, Get out and enjoy this evening. Temperatures will be in the mid-50s by the 7 o'clock hour, upper 40s by 10 p.m., low 40s when you wake up in the morning. But again, rain chances are in the forecast. We'll time that out coming up in the First Alert forecast in a few minutes. Steve.
Eric, thank you. The AFL-CIO has sued the federal government over the email sent to federal employees over the weekend asking them to submit 5 things they did last week or risk being fired. The directive has sparked confusion and pushback. CBS's Christian Benavidez reports from West Palm Beach, Florida.
I thought it was great.
President Trump is defending an email sent to more than 2 million government employees, directing them to list 5 bullets of what you accomplished last week by midnight tonight.
By asking the question, tell us what you did this week, what he's doing is saying, are you actually working?
Presidential advisor Elon Musk warned it was coming, writing on his social media platform X that failure to respond will be taken as a resignation.
If people don't respond, it's very possible that there is no such person or they're not working.
But while a few agencies urged workers to comply with the email, a number of them, including the FBI and the State Department, told staff to pause any response for now. The Pentagon also opted out, just days after the president made major personnel moves there. He fired the chairman of the Joint Chiefs, C.Q. Brown, and the chief of the U.S. Navy. Democratic Senator Jack Reed slammed the moves.
It's the beginning of a very, very serious degradation of the military and politicization of the military.
Trump intends to nominate retired Air Force Lieutenant General Dan Kane to replace General C.Q. Brown. Trump also announced that conservative podcaster and former Secret Service agent Dan Bongino will serve as deputy director of the FBI under Kash Patel. It comes as thousands of staffers with USAID are now officially on administrative leave after a judge lifted a block on the Trump administration's plan. Christian Benavides, CBS News, West Palm Beach, Florida.
The second in command at the FBI is traditionally a career agent, but Bongino does not have any FBI experience. Like Patel, however, he has been a fierce defender of the president. Today marks 3 years since the beginning of the war between Russia and Ukraine. The U.S. joined Russia to vote against a United Nations General Assembly resolution today condemning Russia's war against Ukraine. The General Assembly adopted the resolution with 93 votes in favor. The vote against the Ukrainian and European-backed resolution saw the U.S. at odds with its longtime European allies. A federal judge has paused DOJ access to some sensitive government data. A judge temporarily blocked the Education Department and the Office of Personnel Management from sharing some data with the Department of Government Efficiency. The order halts sharing the personal information of about 2 million union members who sued over DOJ's access to the data. A federal judge partially paused the Trump administration's new policy giving wider latitude for immigration enforcement at some churches and other houses of worship. Today's temporary order is a narrow victory for the religious organizations challenging the new policy in court. The judge blocked the administration from carrying out the policy at the places of worship of any of the religious organizations that brought the lawsuit. The U.S. Supreme Court will not hear arguments in a pair of appeals seeking to wipe out protest buffer zones around abortion clinics. The move will leave those restrictions in place for now. Lower courts had tossed out both appeals based on a 2000 decision from the U.S. Supreme Court that upheld a similar buffer law in Colorado. 2 conservative justices said they would have heard the cases. Pope Francis remains in the hospital for double pneumonia. The Vatican says the Pope woke up in good spirits this morning and is resting. He is continuing treatment and eating normally. Pope Francis was admitted to the hospital on February 14th after having trouble breathing for several days. He is battling double pneumonia and is said to be still in critical condition. Coming up on Mountain News at 5:30, we take a look at why so many people are having a hard time getting out of debt.
And a quiet evening is in store, paving the way for a nice Tuesday. Details in a few minutes.